Sending registrants back to prison for mere administrative violations of Florida's sex offender registry violates human rights. How's that for a bit of good news? After paying my debt to society by completing a lengthy prison term in Florida and 2 years of supervision, I decided that I didn't owe anything further and was not going to be persecuted in my own country for the rest of my life. So I packed my bags and boarded a plane bound for Europe. Passing first through Norway and Denmark, I made my way into Germany and sought protection from the German government on the ground that my human rights were being violated by Florida's sex offender registry. My treatment by the German federal police is a story worthy of its own video. We might do that at some point in the future. Initially, the German Immigration Authority rejected my claim for asylum and ordered me to leave Germany within 30 days. I had different plans, though. Instead of leaving, I hired a German lawyer and appealed to the administrative court. On appeal, we raised several human rights claims against the sex offender registry scheme in Florida. This video addresses only one of those claims. Courts in Europe operate quite differently from their American counterparts. In Europe, courts participate directly in the investigation of claims and are free to send investigators in search of evidence. This court ordered the German Foreign Office to send an investigator to Florida to independently research the facts of my case. While the German court was looking into my claims, Florida issued a warrant for my arrest on grounds that I had violated the reporting and notification requirements of the sex offender registry. Specifically, Florida alleges that I failed to report my change of address, failed to report my new address in Germany, failed to appear for my 6-month registration update, and failed to report that I had a valid passport. The German investigator discovered that the prosecutor assigned to the case in Florida is demanding a minimum of 18 years imprisonment for those violations. In a recent hearing and in its subsequent written order, the German court noted several important factors in my situation. First, I had successfully completed my prison and probationary sentences and had no further obligations to the sentencing court in Florida. Second, the alleged violations were administrative in nature. That is, I merely didn't provide information and I didn't show up for an appointment, and not related to any criminal acts or endangerment of the community. For example, I wasn't found loitering near a school or taking pictures of children at a bus stop or hiding behind a bush in a park. Third, the crime for which I was placed on the registry in Florida is not a crime here in Germany. Fourth, the prosecutor in Florida is demanding a significantly lengthier sentence for the administrative violations, at least 18 years, than I had received for the original crime, which is only 8 years. As part of its deliberation process, the German court considered how administrative violations of probation are handled here in Germany. Since Germany does not have a sex offender registry per se, the court instead used the German probation system for comparison. German prosecutors do not stack or add extra charges to boost any possible sentence. Instead of the 4 violations alleged by Florida, Germany would have alleged only 1 violation in general. Any administrative violation of German probation results in a monetary fine, never a term of imprisonment. And the German court concluded that if I were returned to Florida, there is every reason to believe that I would be sentenced to prison instead of receiving a fine, and such a sentence would violate my human rights. Germany has no intention of being responsible for sending me into a situation in which it has every reason to believe would result in my human rights being violated. Therefore, after looking at all the relevant facts of the case, the court ruled that while I am not entitled to asylum status for technical reasons, I am nonetheless entitled to subsidiary protection from the German government. As it stands today, I am a legal resident in Germany, and permitted to remain in Europe for the rest of my life. Effectively, the German court has condemned Florida's punishment for administrative violations of its registry as human rights violations. While we take great pleasure in this victory, we are well aware that this is just the first step in the long journey to bringing American-style sex offender registries in line with internationally recognized human rights law. There are many battles and many victories ahead, and we're not going to shy from any of them. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like what we do and you want to support what we do and maybe help pay off some of these legal bills, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter. You'll find the link in the description below.